Questions 39 through 42. Listen as a professor discusses a term paper assignment.
That's the end of today's lecture. However, before you leave, I'd like to make sure that everything is clear about the term papers that you're working on. The term papers should be almost finished now. I hope you've been working hard on them for the last 2 months. I can assure you that it's quite clear to me when students try to do all the work on their term papers at the last moment. There are 2 important things that I'm very strict about. 1, the due date, and 2, the length of the paper. The term papers are due next Tuesday by 5 o'clock without fail. I see some unhappy faces out there, but the deadline is absolute. You've had the assignment for 2 months, so I see no need to extend the deadline. I will not accept any papers after 5 o'clock Tuesday. And needless to say, you will receive a failing grade if the paper isn't turned in on time. As far as the length is concerned, the papers should be 10 to 12 pages long. This means that the papers should not be shorter than 10 pages and should not be longer than 12 pages. Don't think that you can improve your grade on the term paper by turning in 20 or 30 pages. Please be very careful about the length of your paper and be sure to get it in on time.
Number 39. When does the talk take place? Number 40. How long should the students have been working on their term papers? Number 41. What time are the papers due? Number 42. What number of pages is not acceptable? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a description of the job of smoke jumper.
The Forest Service is the government agency that has the difficult job of fighting forest fires. One major problem in fighting forest fires is that forest fires often burn in areas where there are no roads or inadequate roads, so it can be quite difficult to get workers and equipment into the area to fight the fire. A very specialized job has developed within the Forest Service as a result, and that job is the job of smoke jumper. A smoke jumper is a firefighter who parachutes or jumps into an area where there's a forest fire. It's necessary to use smoke jumpers to fight a fire when the fire occurs in an area without roads. If there are no roads, the only way to get firefighters into an area quickly is for them to parachute in. After the smoke jumpers parachute into an area around a forest fire, they work on the ground to fight the fire. They may spend several days fighting the fire, and they often have to work long hours without adequate heavy equipment to battle the fire. Then, when that work is done, the only way to get out is to walk. After days of fighting a fire, they may have to walk for hours and hours to get to the nearest road.
Number 43. What do smoke jumpers do? Number 44. How do smoke jumpers get into fires? Number 45. When must smoke jumpers be used to fight a forest fire? Number 46. What do the smoke jumpers have to do immediately after the fire is out? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a lecture by a university professor.
Everyone, please take a seat because the lecture is about to start. The topic for today is glaciers, those huge blocks of ice that are found in the northernmost and southernmost parts of our world. Glaciers can be thousands and thousands of years old, and scientists are able to learn a lot by studying these ancient glaciers. The first thing that scientists can determine when studying a glacier is its age. In fact, it's very easy for scientists to learn exactly how old a particular glacier is from the number of layers in the glacier. Scientists drill into the ice, and then they just count the layers in the glacier, and from this they can determine the glacier's age. In addition to learning the ages of glaciers, scientists have also been able to learn a lot about the Earth's past by studying glaciers. For example, something that you might not have thought about is that glaciers can be used to determine a tremendous amount about volcanoes in the past. Sometimes there's some volcanic dust in one layer of the glacier. By measuring where the volcanic dust occurs in the glacier and how much dust exists, scientists can determine how many years ago a volcano erupted on Earth and get an approximate idea of the strength of the volcano. That's all for today. For the next class, you should read the next chapter in the textbook.
Number 47. In which course would this lecture most probably be given? Number 48. How do scientists determine the age of glaciers? Number 49. What have scientists found within glaciers? Number 50. What should the students do for the next class?